Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Brett. I'm out here in the side-by-side today. Was doing a little bit of deer hunting earlier, and we're in late fall, just about winter. Temperature started dropping here in North Idaho, and it's getting cold. And got me thinking, there have been some tragedies this year in our neck of the woods with people ending up stranded or in trouble, and some of them didn't make it home. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that I do to at least mitigate some of the risk. You can't always plan for everything, but the simple fact is these off-road vehicles can take you a long way from home in a short period of time. And if you run into trouble, whether it be an accident or a mechanical problem, you may not be walking out of there in a day or two. It might take you a long time on foot. And with bad weather and a little bit of unpreparedness, you could be in life-threatening danger in short order. It's more important than anything to make sure people know where you are. That's the number one thing. Tell someone where you're going. But also have the ability to deal with problems on your own. A couple of things that we always have with us. We always have a radio. And this one works for, FRS, which is the family radio service, or even through a repeater channel, and some other high-tech things. It's basically a ham radio. And then we have the handheld GPS unit with a screen, and that's the Garmin GPS Map 67i. It has inReach, so we can send a message over satellite for assistance with that. And then a smartphone. Everybody in the world has a smartphone pretty much, so there's not much to say about that other than it does everything. It's a supercomputer. When you have internet, otherwise it's fairly much a camera and a paperweight if there's no internet or cell service. And then we have another Garmin inReach device. This is the Garmin Messenger Plus. What a fantastic system that is. I can't say enough about it, but that's a full video by itself. Thermometer and a clock just mounted to the dash assembly. And then we have the TripleTech 9 Pro. This is just a tablet for using for navigation. So we communicate with we use this to connect to satellite using Onyx and the Garmin map system just for all of our navigation while we're riding. And, we can leave it in here all the time. Super nice system, pretty expensive though, absolutely not necessary, but it's fun and great to have. And then we have stuff in the glove box. We got toilet paper, flashlight, and it goes way down there. There's all kinds of cool stuff in there. Charging system for your phone and other electronic devices. So those are the kinds of things that we basically have in the cab with us most of the time. We always have water with us. You need to have water with you. So we always have a fair amount of water. And then, of course, we have the Pew Pew. It's a 12-gauge shotgun, which has double-aught buck and slugs staggered in it for self-defense and hunting and whatever else. Then at the back of our side-by-side, we have the trunk system, and I just love this LinQ trunk. It is worth its weight in gold. Keeps everything dry, keeps everything clean for the most part. In here, when you open this up, the first thing you get to is a first aid kit with a nice flashlight, and that should be the first thing that you see whenever you open up your back end or whatever. Anytime you need something in a hurry, first aid kit should be the first thing you see. And then, we've got other things in here like a survival blanket. It's a reflective survival blanket, stocking cap, mittens, stocking cap and gloves. other gloves. We've got a tool bag here with tools, a jump kit starter for jump starting the battery. We've got fire starting items in here. And we've got extra engine oil, a blanket. It's an electric blanket, 12-volt electric blanket that plugs into the vehicle. We have extra fuel. We have extra engine coolant back there. We have a small 2,000-pound capacity come-along, ratcheting come-along. We've got a shovel and a hatchet back in the back, a couple of MREs. We've got rain gear, just a small Frog Togs rain gear. We've got duct tape. Got a tow strap, a funnel back here. We've got a fire blanket and a fire extinguisher in there too. We just got basic everything, and a garbage bag. We also, in the very bottom of this, we have a really large heavy-duty tarp, and that can be made into a shelter. In the first aid kit, we know we've got pretty much everything we need for a day or so, for average injuries, not trauma, of course, but we also make sure that both of us, my wife and I carry a day's supply of our prescription medications with us at all times when we go on a trip. You just never know what's going to happen there. Not everybody is going to be as over-the-top prepared as that. I completely understand that. It's a lot. It's kind of a lifestyle. So I wanted to make sure that I also brought some things along that the average person could have in their car. Just as an example, it doesn't have to be that elaborate. And the reason why is because, there's people that just don't often think about it, they don't care about it, or they don't have the finances to buy, a whole bunch of stuff and go source it out. So I just want to give you some ideas here. This is a grocery sack, what pretty much everyone has. You don't have to have a fancy bag or container or backpack, but I have a Ziploc bag here, and in it I have shelf-stable, non-perishable foods that can last for a long time. They don't have to be refrigerated or anything, and they can be eaten right out of the bag. They don't have to be cooked. So kind of like an MRE. This is peanut butter, just in a squeeze tube, an energy bar. I've got, some really good calories and protein with some pink salmon. It's just packaged salmon. Last over a year. Check your expiration dates, if you're storing this long term. Same thing, I've got some roast beef, a big package of roast beef. You can eat it cold or you can heat it. Talk to you later about how to heat it. And then I have a little paint can I picked up at the hardware store. It was like $2.90. And boil water in it. Put water in this and boil it, or cook in it, because it's hard to purify water and things without something to boil it in. This is a candle, it's just an emergency candle, liquid wax candle. These can keep you warm if you're in a little survival shelter, like a tarp or something, or a reflective blanket. And it'll go for 100 hours. So you light this thing, and you've got light, and you've got a little bit of heat. You can bundle up together with your sweetie while you're stuck. These are cool to have. These little mega warmers, they sell them at the, impulse aisle, impulse items at the checkout stand all over the place. They're not terribly expensive, but they stay warm for a long time, and they kind of give you a little bit of comfort, which is nice to have, especially if you're walking or something. Water, just bottled water. You don't have to have anything fancy. Bring some bottled water with you. And then a rain jacket. This is just one of those folding Walmart rain jackets that's backed by the jewelry and the fashion section, by umbrellas and hats and stuff. This is an emergency survival blanket, and it just reflects your body heat back on you. You would take a normal blanket and put it on, and then stick this over the top of it to insulate to reflect your radiant body heat back. May not be as warm as your house, but it's going to keep you alive, and that's all that really matters. And then, I've got a flashlight, and I've got a little headlamp here from Energizer. I forgot to get out the cheap flashlight, because it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but if it's nighttime and it's dark, you really need to be able to see what you're doing, where you're going. This flashlight has a beam, and then it also has a room light. Super cheap, super cheap. $1 at the dollar store, and takes some AAA batteries. I always have a lighter. I always have extra ways to start fire, but not everybody has access to well, I don't know. I wouldn't count on a lighter for everything, but book of matches. Make sure you have a book of matches with you. Keep them in something waterproof, some extra toilet paper, towelettes, things like that. You should always have a way to start fire. Matches and a lighter. But all this stuff is just, stuff that you can put in the back seat of your car, and it just sits there all the time. And then you don't think about it until there's a tragedy and you need it. And then you dang well better have it with you. Look, you can nerd out on this stuff and go overboard like I do. But in all seriousness, don't go out running around in the outdoors without some kind of backup, with you. Because at a minimum, tell someone where you're going to be. At least that if you're not back when you're supposed to be, someone's going to start coming and looking for you. Because that's really the only way you're going to get out if you're stuck. There's so many different things you can do to mitigate those risks, but if no one knows where to look, that's bad. So anyway, I'm Brett. I appreciate you watching. Wish you the best of luck. Be careful out there. Okay, bye-bye.